guys, welcome back. Today is a messy bun day over here, so I apologize, but it's just the day we've had. Rylan also stole my whiteboard, so I'm doing problems on paper, but we are making it. I hope y'all are having a great day at home. We're going to be working on ratios and proportions today, which was one of y'all's best and favorite units, so I hope that brings you some comfort and knowing that you're going to do awesome. All right, let's get started. All right guys, so we're gonna do it a little bit different today since Rylan has claimed my board as his own and drawn a picture on it, and I am not allowed to erase it. So we have that going for us. To start, I have this sheet of paper which covers basically everything that is in your what are the basics section of your printout. So key things, what are ratios? Ratios are the relationship between two numbers. Remember, we can write it as A to B, or we can write it as a fraction A over B, or we can write it as A colon B. For today, we're especially going to focus on our fractions because that is going to move us into our blue section right here. If we have two ratios that are proportional, you can solve for an unknown variable by cross multiply the pair and then divide by your oddball, okay? This is what we've been working on all year long. We've built off of it. We've used it in almost every single unit since we learned it back in November. So I'm hoping you're feeling super confident with it today. All right, I again have worked through the problem that is in your example section that is also worked out on your printout for you, but let's talk about it before we start on our word problems. So when I say cross multiply, that means you've got to find the pair that are across from each other on the equal sign. Okay, so here we have 18 times 100, which would equal 1800, and then we're going to divide by our oddball, which is the number that was left out. So divide by 20, and then we get that equals to 90, which means x equals 90. All right, let's move on. All right, so number one on our Let's Practice section reads, Madison bought a set of Harry Potter books for $56.77. The tax rate is 7%. What is the tax and total of her purchase? So to help us out here, I've gone ahead and listed this as a tax problem, and I've given us the proportion we're going to set up. Tax over cost is going to equal percent over 100. That will be our first step. Second, to find the total cost, we have to add whatever we get in our tax to the cost, because obviously when you're buying a set of books, you don't just pay the tax, you're also going to have to pay for the books. So it says that she bought the set of Harry Potter books for $56.77, which means our cost of the books is $56.77. On this side, we're always going to have our 100 on the bottom. I should have filled that in first. All right, then it says the tax rate is 7%. Percent always goes above 100, which means this is our variable we will be solving for. Then if we cross multiply, we do 56.77 times 7, which will give us 397.39. Then we divide by our oddball, and in the end, it gives us 3.97 is what I'm going to round to because we're talking about money. So this represents our tax. But the question also asked us to find the total. So to find the total, we have to take the tax and add it to the cost of the books. So the grand total cost that she's going to have to hand over to the cashier is $60.74. All right, moving on to number 2. Kyla and Catherine go to Olive Garden for dinner. The bill total is $48.35. They tip 20%. What is the tip and total of their meal? So, in reading this problem, I knew it was a tip problem, so I went ahead and labeled that at the top. I also gave you the proportion that we're going to use to solve for tip. It's going to be tip over cost equals percent over 100. And again, because it asked you for the total of their meal, we need to remember that the total is going to be tip plus cost because they have to tip their waiter and they have to pay for their food. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start by putting my 100 down here. Now it told us the bill total was $48.35. And they want to tip 20%. Percent always goes over the 100, which means I'm solving for my tip. So first I cross multiply. I'm going to do 48.35 times 20. Oops, not 200. All right, and 48.35 times 20 is going to give me 967. I then take 967 and divide by 100. Which equals $9.67. That will be their tip. Again, I was asked to find the total, so I have to do tip plus the cost of their meal to find my total of $58.02. Just imagine how mad your waiter would be if you only left them your tip, okay? A lot of the time y'all like to try and forget to add the total cost, but we need to get in the habit of remembering that. Moving on to number 3. John Murray makes a base salary of $1,000 plus commission. He makes 5% commission on all that he sells. If he sold $32,000 worth of stuff, what is his total salary? So looking at this problem, because in the first sentence it tells us he makes a base salary of $1,000, we are looking at commission with base salary, okay? Here we have the proportion we're going to set up. Commission over sales equals percent over 100. I wrote this in big giant capital letters because it is so incredibly important. The base salary does not go in the proportion. I think I have stomped this at you guys so much that I hope you remember. All right, and then our total salary is going to equal the base plus commission. All right. So he makes a base salary of $1,000. That does not go in our proportion. He does make 5% commission, and we know our percent is always the number to go over our 100. And then it said he sold $32,000. So that is his sales. Okay? Then all we have to do is cross multiply, and we get $32,000 times 5 is going to equal, oh my gosh, 160,000, and then we divide that by 100, which means his total commission is $1,600. Now he also had a base salary that we need to remember. He had a base salary of $1,000. So to find our total that he will be bringing in for the month, we have to add in that 1,000. So his paycheck for the month is actually going to be $2,600. All right, last one. Doss makes commission on the Cheetos he sells. He makes 14% commission. If he sold $48,000 worth of Cheetos, how much is his total salary? Again, with this problem, we have another commission problem. The only difference here is Doss is not making a base salary. Again, we're going to use the same proportion. Commission over sales equals percent over 100. But this time, our total salary is just going to be the commission, because unlike John Murray, he does not get a base salary. Okay, so again, I'm going to start by writing my 100 that I've liked to forget to do on 2 of the problems. I'm sorry. All right, and he makes 14% commission. Because there's that percent, my 14 has to go over my 100. Remember, percent really means per 100. And then he sold $48,000 worth of Cheetos. Oh my. All right, which means we are solving for his commission. We're gonna cross multiply first. So 48,000 times 14 is going to give us 672,000. Then we divide by our oddball 100, which gives us a total of $6,720 worth of commission, which means that is how much money he will be taking home. All right, guys, that's it for today. Me and Marvel are gonna head up to bed now, and I hope you enjoy what is heading your way. As requested, we have some costumes. All right, bye.
I'm his family neighborhood spy.